just like to invite some cast and crew. I would like to invite up Mr. Bill Hader, Mr. Luke Wilson, Mr. Boyd Holbrook. We got the dudes here. Last night, poor Kristen Wiig was beset by a strep throat that closed up her throat. She can't talk. She couldn't travel, so instead she texted a little message for me to say, to pass along to all of you. I wish I was there. Thank you. You're sickly, Kristen. She's gonna try to come later, but she's real sick right now. I'd also like to, I'm kind of shaking wildly here, call up a bunch of other people. Mark Heyman, the co-writer, Jenny Lee, the producer-editor, Stephanie Langhoff, producer, Jacob Petnick, producer, Sarah Goldman, executive producer, Reed Morano, the director of photography, Owen Maslin, production designer, Megan Courier, our music supervisor, Ian Steins, re-recording mixture, and last but not least, the Dupli, Mark and Jay, the Dupli players.
Okay, so we are going to open this up to Q&A. If you have any questions for Craig or any of these fine folks up here, raise your hand. I'll call on you, and we will try to speak as loudly as possible, but I will repeat the questions if need be, and we'll start with this lady right down front.
What went into the lip-syncing scene, and how much did it cost them?
The question was, what went into the lip-syncing scene, and how much did it cost to license that song?
A lot of our music budget. I remember the day of, we kind of went upstairs and choreographed it, right? And I remember we kind of were up in that little room in that house, and we were like, okay, this has got to be choreographed. And I had some moves actually down that I knew I wanted to do. But I think for me, the most important thing about that scene is that it was dramatic, and I figured as long as there was some sort of tension in it, and for a lot of the scene, Bill's trying to get Kristen to sing, and I thought that was almost more important than kind of dance moves, which I left up to you.
I choreographed the whole thing.
Bill actually choreographed the whole thing?
I came in there, I said, no, here's how this is going to go. But that was really cool, because when I read that in the script, that's actually, I have two younger sisters, and that's actually something we do, you like lip sync and stuff.
Yeah, sing along.
And it was such for this movie, because it was the schedule was so tight and stuff, that we would shoot a scene like that, which we wanted to shoot, for months, because we were having so much fun. And then the next scene was the scene where I come home drunk, and I give that long talk.
A big monologue about high school was right after we shot the lip sync, so it's like, okay, all the fun, go away.
You're sitting outside and you're like, okay, so you just thought about jumping off a roof. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So that's how the whole movie was.
Okay. Anyone else? Sure, gentleman with a hat.
Yeah, Kevin Pollak, Motion Pictures.
Kevin Pollak.
We all knew Bill could be that geniusly amazing humor-wise, but how did you know he was such a brilliant dramatic actor?
The truth is I didn't know, and I have to give some mad props to A.D. Kaufman, our casting director. We were thinking about some people, and I must say, Bill wasn't on my initial radar, and A.D. said, have you ever thought about Bill Hader? And I was like, I love Bill Hader, he's hysterical, but this is this kind of very subtle, understated thing. And she said, well, I saw Bill in a dramatic reading opposite Kate Winslet, and he was, out of everybody up there, the most heartbreaking, moving, and subtle, and I think you should really meet with him. So I was like, wow, all right. And we met in a bar, and just had a drink. And almost instantly, just in person, Bill sort of sweet nature and kind of the sensitivity that you might not get so much when you watch Stefan. I guess Stefan's a sensitive guy, right?
He's done a lot of drugs.
There was just something that really kind of struck us. And you know what it was too? Bill and I are both big movie nerds. And we kind of geeked out a little bit about directors at the time. And I kind of had this idea of like, oh, Milo's a little bit more of a just kind of a nerd. And then I thought, we found our nerd.
I'm the nerd.
Yeah. And and that was it. We just left the meeting. I was with Jenny Lee, and we just grabbed each other, and we were like.
And I went to my wedding reception.
And she went to her wedding reception, actually. Yeah, with a couple books, so she had to run from that. So we booked her right next door to her wedding reception. She came over and we went back over to the wedding reception, grabbed each other, and was like, "That's him. That's Milo." And that's intuitively, you know, we didn't read or anything like that, and that was it.